Alright, let's look about getting started in GIS. Specifically, the software and access to some of the Esri training and some of the websites that we use that you will need. To get started, and to complete this course, you need to have access to the ArcGIS software suite from a company called Esri. They make the premier GIS software, and it's the software you're going to learn on. And to access this and the training that they offer, you need to have a ArcGIS Online account, and it has to be an ArcGIS Online account that is associated with Northern Virginia Community College. So it has to be one of ours. Even if you've got an older account that you had set up when you were in high school or somewhere else, that's fine. It's not going to work for this. So we're going to create a new account for you, and we're going to give you a free set of license for 1 year with the software, and that'll be all you need. So as I was saying, students can install a 1-year free student license. It gives you complete access to everything with the software, but you don't get any tech support from Esri, the software company. So don't call them or ask them for support. They're going to refer you back to Kathy Williams, who is the statewide administrator for the software account, and she works for Virginia Tech. Essentially, the state of Virginia negotiates a price with the company to buy this software for all the colleges that are state schools. And the way they can afford this, because this software is not cheap, is by stripping down some of the non-essential things. And that happens to be the tech support. What we get is full access to the software and full access to their online training resources. And that's it. So if you need help, you have to talk to your instructor or the program head or the IT department here at Nova, not the software company. You also need to learn how to access our ArcGIS online portal, because that's how you're going to get into the Esri online trainings. And so we're going to show you how to do that and how to install this software on your home computer. It's important to realize, do not install the software on a tablet, a notebook, or a Chromebook, or any of the other sort of light computer applications that are out there. This software is designed for actual laptops or desktop computers. As far as the type of computers, it will work on a Mac. It's not easy to get it set up. Essentially, there's a program, I think it's called Parallels or something like that, where you essentially divide your hard drive up into parts. You partition it. In one partition, you have to install Windows. Macs don't run on Windows. PCs run on Windows. Windows is what Esri software runs on. It doesn't run on Mac software. So you have to partition your hard drive, add a whole new OS operating system in part of it, just so that you can run the Esri software. So my recommendation is to not install it on a Mac, but if it's the only computer you got, it's what you're going to have to do. It will be more of a challenge. So let's talk first about your Nova ArcGIS online account. Like I said earlier, I don't care if you had an account from high school, or you could set up a public account. That won't work. You need to have an account associated with us, Northern Virginia Community College, to access the trainings, because the trainings that you can access are related to the particular license you have. And if you have one from high school or from a public account, you will only have access to the stuff that they make free to the public. From our account, you will have access to all of their training. And the good news is we've already set up an account for you with us. If you look in your inbox, you should receive an invitation. Now, it'll come from us or from Esri. I'm not sure exactly how that looks when it comes in your inbox, but just look for an email in the last day or so from someone you don't know, and then simply accept this invitation from Esri and finish setting up your account. Part of this process, you have to select a password. I will encourage you to set your password to the same thing as your current MyNova password, so that if later you have trouble signing in, I'll tell you it's your MyNova password. Now, if you want to make a Blue Raccoon 64, that's fine. That's your business. If the time comes and you forget your password and you can't get in, and I have to reset it, the first thing I'm going to tell you is it's your MyNova password. Then you're going to tell me, no, I made it something else. And then I'm going to say, why did you do that? I told you not to. Okay? And after all that angst, I'll reset your password and instruct you to make it the same as your MyNova password at that time. All right. How do you do all this? Well, once you've set up your account, and that's already, you're going to go to the Nova ArcGIS online page. And this is the web address for it. You can simply copy this link or click on it or what have you to go to it. I would go ahead and bookmark it or add it to your favorites or whatever you do to store web addresses on your particular browser that you use. Once you get to this page, you're going to sign in. Now, by now you probably know what your password is because you followed my instructions, and it's now the same as your MyNova password. What you may have forgotten, though, is what your username is. So we set up the usernames following a really simple pattern that makes it easy for us to figure out what your username is. It starts off with your MyNova username, and then that's followed by _Nova_CC. And I'll give you an example. What if your MyNova username was Claude6255? All right. So when you log into MyNova, you log into Canvas, you're going to log in as Claude6255 and then your password. Well, when you log into the ArcGIS online portal for Nova, it would be, in this example, Claude6255 _Nova_CC. So if you was BRX2211, it would be BRX2211 _Nova_CC. That's your username, and the password is whatever you set once you set up your account from the email. When you go to that page, you're going to go to this. This is our lovely ArcGIS online page. Apologize for the yawn. Every time I make one of these videos, almost every time I yawn. Try to make them in the mornings, made them at night, made them middle of the day, on caffeine, without caffeine, when I'm tired, when I'm not tired, when I'm awake, when I'm not awake. It doesn't matter when I do it, I'm going to yawn sooner or later, so I apologize. And I've apologized on other videos because, well, I'm sorry, I guess. Anyway, back to the business at hand. When you go to this website at this web address, this is the page that you're going to get to. And on the right side, you'll see where it has my name and my username right there. What you will do once you've signed in is you'll click on this. After you roll your mouse over it. So when you put your mouse over where this red circle is, it's going to give you some options. Things will pop down. You'll get a pop-down window just like you see here, where it has your username and stuff, your profile, your whatever, your training, and all that. What you'll do is click on Training. When you do, it's going to open up this page, which is the Esri Academy's training link page. And as you pull your mouse down from where you just clicked on your name and scroll across to Catalog and click on Catalog there, it'll open up a box underneath this of options. And you're going to go to Course Catalog over there and click on that. Now once you do that, it's going to give you this search box, and you'll simply type the name of the training in the search box. So if I assign a Esri tutorial called Getting Started with ArcGIS, you would simply type in Getting Started with ArcGIS, not Esri tutorial, or if we call it like Training Module 1, you won't put that in there. It's the actual name of the training. In this case, Getting Started with GIS or Getting Started with ArcGIS or whatever it is. It'll be on the link for the assignment in Canvas. Once you do this and you hit the little magnifying glass to search, this is where students start panicking and they say, but I didn't find any results. That's my best scared student voice. See, what happens is this web page is laid out funny. It's a very lengthy page, and the search results return below these boxes you see across the bottom of the screen. And what happens is they don't show up on the screen until you scroll down. So you'll hit the search, it'll look like nothing happened, but if you scroll down, you'll have a lot of results. And so usually, when you think you're not getting results, it's because you haven't scrolled down to look at the results. So let's look at this process for these trainings. If in that search box you type Getting Started with GIS, which is the first one you're going to do, this is one that we're going to do as an assignment, and then I'm going to give you an option to do a few more for bonus. You can add to this by clicking to add it to your learning plan. There's a tiny little plus symbol inside of a circle. You click on that, it'll add it to your training plan. Then you can go back next time you log in. Instead of searching for everything, you can simply go to your learning plan and it'll be there, and you can launch it from there if you like. This particular training is listed as a 3.5-hour web course that covers the basics of GIS. This is just one example of a lot of the quality training that they have that you will be able to access because you are affiliated with us. This is a graded assignment. There'll be 2 more that you can do for extra credit. We encourage everyone to do the extra credit, not because you need it, but because it's smart to do it, because it does 2 things. The first thing is it racks up some points so that you can get stuff wrong and still end up with a perfect grade. That's a big thing. The second thing is the more time you spend using this software, the better you become using this software. The more time you spent doing stuff in this software, the easier it is to complete the tutorials in a timely fashion. The better your basic GIS skills become. The less stressed out you're going to get because you're getting behind getting tutorials done. And it allows you to then spend more time focusing on things like reading the chapters and studying for the quizzes and exams and that sort of stuff. Now, we also recognize that you're already probably up to your earlobes with homework and reading and videos and trainings and other things in this class. And then the fact that it's jammed into 12 weeks instead of 16 is not going to make that any less. That's going to complicate that even more. The fact that this class is 4 credits instead of 3 credits speaks to the volume of learning that occurs. But these trainings from Esri are worth it. They're credentials, they help, and it's also a means of doing quite well with GIS because it's just better practice. Next, we'll set up your software, and then you can log in again and complete any required training. So, the software. The ArcGIS Desktop 1-year student license provides a 1-year term single-use license for ArcGIS Desktop Advanced. This is what they used to call ArcInfo, and all the extensions. It's limited to educational purposes, so you can't, do it for commercial stuff. Each authorization code is valid for 1 user on 1 computer. You should have gotten an email with this code and a set of instructions. Please read the instructions completely before you try to install the software. Please watch this video completely before you try to install the software. You can always go back and follow along on here, watching the video and pausing it, reading the instructions and stopping, and then following along with actual installation of the software. This stuff is kind of squirrely. It's got a few little quirks. If you just think, oh, I've installed software 1,000 times, I can install this, it won't be a problem, you're what we like to call wrong. Okay? There's certain things that you have to do, some things that seem counterintuitive, and if you don't do these things correctly, the installation will not work. Check your inbox for an access code and a set of instructions. If you don't have one, contact your instructor or the GIS program head, Dr. Harmon, that's me. And if you're in the GIS 200 class, he will send you an access code. I will, I swear. I'm not going to send it out to just anybody that emails and asks for one. But if you're at Nova and you're in our program and you need a new license, I'll hook you up. That's what I do. The process of installing the software is pretty straightforward. It kind of works like this. You get the email from me and you're going to go to this link. This link takes you to the landing page to download the software for the student trial. Once you're there, it asks you to log in with your Nova ArcGIS online account. Well, with an ArcGIS online account. But you're going to use the one from Nova. It'll then sign you in. At some point in time, it'll ask you to enter your authorization number. That's the EVA code. That's the code that I send you in the email. It starts off EVA followed by some numbers. You'll put that in and then click activate. Now, it's important that you do this because this loads the code into the Esri system that says the user of this code is going to download software, and when we try to authorize this software, we know to approve it if they use this code. If you skip this step, your code will not authorize your software and the software will not install. On the following screens, it's going to ask you for the versions that you want and all that kind of stuff. There's buttons for the different things that you're going to do and what you're going to download. Just remember, your authorization number is only good once. And so you're going to use it to authorize the version of ArcGIS that you need and do it all at once. The things that you need to select to download is ArcGIS Pro 2.1 and Desktop 10.6. And if there's a package there for ArcGIS data, go ahead and download it too. Definitely these two, possibly the third. The next page, scroll down, look for Pro and the Desktop and all that stuff, and it's pretty easy to find once you start looking. The page where you're looking at looks sort of like this. These is the ArcGIS Pro and the Desktop. These are the two of the download things you're gonna download. Click the download link. It begins. It'll take a little time. These are rather large files. These files are also not just files. They're executable files. So after it finishes downloading, you're going to double click on the file, and that begins the installation process. The window that pops up will pop up. Let it go and put stuff in all the destination folders wherever it chooses. Click next. In the next window, click next. Leave the launch the setup program checked and click close. After that, once the setup begins, you'll click next whenever it asks. You'll accept the license agreement when it asks and click next. On the select installation type, you're going to select complete and then click next. For the destination folder window, click next. On the Python destination folder, click next. On the ready to install application window, click install, and then the installation will begin. So once it gets started, the ArcGIS Administrator Wizard will open up and it'll ask you to select the products. You're going to select Advanced ArcInfo Single Use and click Authorize Now. You'll have to be logged in and accessible to the internet when you do this. Select the first option on the authorization page and click Next. Select the first option on the authorization method and click Next. Fill out the required fields that it asks for, like your name and what you do and all that kind of stuff, and click Next. Select the appropriate options on the next page and click Next. There's an awful lot of clicking Next involved in installing the software. At one point in time, the authorization software extension page is going to come up. Do not touch anything on this. So many students mess up because they say, oh yeah, I want all this stuff. Here's the thing. You'll have all this stuff as long as you don't fiddle with any of these buttons. Simply click next unless you can't click next, and it'll run through. Once it recognizes that you're a student, it automatically gives you all these extensions. So click next unless you have to do something else, and otherwise keep going. Once the software has successfully authorized, just simply click finish. Okay, well, now you've got your software set up. You have access to ArcGIS Online through our webpage. You have your own Esri account using the username that we assigned you. We've shown you how to search for the particular um, Esri training, and now you have the software installed so you can follow along and do the training, and that should get you started on your path to becoming a GIS professional. Look for a document, a PDF, outlining which trainings to do and how much they're worth and that kind of stuff. Remember, the first one's mandatory, and then there'll be 2 for extra credit. The more of these you do, the better off you'll be. The more time you have to do these trainings, the more of them you should do. They're skills you can keep. They're fodder to fill out your resume. You can use this as justification of your skills for job applications, and they actually make you better at GIS. So you have everything you need to get started. Good luck.